My mother didn't like me since I was a child, but she bought me a hot water bottle in the middle of winter. I was so happy and thought she finally loved me, until the hot water bottle exploded and my face was blown into a bloody mess, turning into an ugly monster. Then I realized that my mother wanted me to die. It was really cold on the winter solstice. My mother, who never liked me, actually bought me a hot water bottle on that day for the first time. You are usually very tired from studying. It has been cold these few days, so be careful not to catch a cold. When these familiar words rang in my ears again, I was completely confused. Hadn't I been killed? How could I still see my mother? I pinched myself hard, and the familiar pain entered my brain and brought my reason back. After a long while of reaction, I stood up and ran to the bathroom. I looked beautiful in the mirror with neat long hair tied up and wearing the school uniform of number 1 middle school, but I still looked ugly and half-human. Seeing this, my mother couldn't help scolding me, "You little bitch, and you're a bitch. What kind of wind is this?" Scared me so much. "I'll open a dyeing room if I give you some color. Don't force me to hit you." At this moment, I am sure that I have been reborn. I was reborn on the day when my mother came back from buying a hot water bag. In my previous life, I thought my mother had a change of heart and finally remembered my kindness as a daughter and began to love me. Unexpectedly, the hot water bag exploded, and my whole face and chest were blown into a bloody mess. As a result, I was forced to drop out of school and became an ugly monster who dared not go out. The trajectory of my life changed from a bright future to a bleak one. However, after this accident, my mother did not feel the slightest bit of guilt. Instead, she went to the hot water bag factory in a hurry to ask for compensation. I thought it was just an accident, so even though I was sad to death, I did not blame her. It was not until 2 years later that my mother brought home a girl that I realized that all this was not an accident, but man-made. I also knew that girl. She was the daughter of the richest man in the local area and the school beauty of the same class as me. Looking at the two people in front of me who were carved from the same mold, no matter how stupid I was, I could see the clues. Only then did my mother proudly tell me the truth. "Tell you the truth, Chan Yao, you are not my daughter at all. Ching Ching is my biological daughter. I destroyed your face with a hot water bottle so that Ching Ching had the opportunity to enter the experimental class of number 1 middle school, and now Ching Ching has been admitted to a key university with a bright future. You will only have a cheap life in this life. So what if you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth? I still changed your life. My daughter will definitely be rich and powerful in this life." Shin Qing on the side was quite impatient and didn't even want to give me a glance. "Why are you wasting my time talking to this ugly freak? Do I have to go on a date soon? You will be responsible if I am late. Hurry up and make it clean, so that I don't lose my hair every day." My mother changed her arrogant and domineering look in front of me, and she was as obedient as a dog in front of Shin Qing. "Oh, a date is a big deal, Ching Ching, don't worry. Mom will do it right away." I didn't understand at the time what they meant by their words, until they took me to the rooftop and pushed me down with their own hands. The most terrible thing I saw was the next scene was my good mother holding Shin Qing's arm, and Shin Qing showed me the most malicious smile. "Only if you die can I be the only daughter of my parents. You are a worthless life and don't deserve to go back to the Shin family. My dear daughter, this is the gift your mother bought for you. Congratulations on entering the liberal arts experimental class." My mother gathered her strength and stuffed the hot water bottle into my hand with a smile, but I could clearly see that the smile was not there. I used to be longing for family affection and trusted my mother 100%, so that such poor acting skills could fool me. I gathered my thoughts and took the hot water bottle. "Thank you, Mom. I will study hard and get into a good university." My mother patted my shoulder and kept urging me to use the hot water bottle quickly. I pretended to have tears in my eyes and choked up in my voice. "Mom, I want to keep such a good thing for school." My mother's face changed at that time and answered firmly, "No." I looked back at my mother in confusion. Why? Could it be that there is something wrong with this hot water bag? My mother obviously unexpectedly, I, who have always been obedient, actually refuted her today with a frozen expression. "You lowly creature. How can you be so vicious? I am your mother. How can I harm you? What can a hot water bottle do? You can use it whenever you like." But in order to destroy me, she still agreed. In the last life, she not only successfully destroyed me with the help of the hot water bottle, but also obtained compensation from the hot water bag manufacturer. Remember, this time, he also planned to keep the compensation for himself. "Remember to use the hot water bottle when you go back to school tomorrow, my good daughter." Mom looks at the frostbite on your hands, but she feels distressed. Haha, if I really felt distressed, I would not let me wash his clothes with cold water in the middle of winter. Every time I come home from school at night, I have to wash clothes for my mother by hand. Hot water comes out of thin air. Doesn't it have to be burned with electricity? I have raised you to this age and you are still not satisfied. Is there still that washing machine company that doesn't charge electricity bills? I am raising you alone, so you have to learn to save money for the family. But it was clearly half a year ago. As the top scorer in the city's high school entrance examination, I just earned him a scholarship of 100,000 yuan. I tightly grasped the hot water bottle in my hand and then gathered my thoughts. I had clearly died once. Facing the malice of the mother who raised me since childhood, I still couldn't be completely unsad, but there was more hatred in my chest. Since you are so unkind, then no one should have an easy time. Although Shinqing and I are not in the same class, we are on the same floor. He goes to the water room to get water every afternoon during the second class, just to get close to Lin Zhang, the school hunk in our class. It is precisely because Shinqing is very jealous and does not allow others to get close to Lin Zhang, so everyone tacitly does not go to the water room during that class. Stay away from me in the water room for a while. When passing by Lin Zhang's seat, I reminded him in a low voice. He didn't ask much, but just glanced at me lightly, and then followed me to the water room. As for whether he would listen or not, it all depends on him. The water room was quiet. Shinqing had been waiting there since early in the morning, with rosy cheeks, like a flower in bud. It was under such a skin. Shinqing's injuries were more serious than mine, and he fainted due to pain and blood phobia. Shin's mother's voice was choked with sobs, and she quickly grabbed the doctor's hand and asked, "Doctor, how is our Qingqing?" The doctor said diligently, "Family members, I can fully understand your mood, but the patient's condition is not very optimistic now, because there are large areas of burns on his face, and the chance of disfigurement in the later stage is very high. He needs a skin grafting operation, and your family members should be mentally prepared. In addition, the patient has type O blood, but unfortunately our hospital is short of type O blood. For the patient's safety, family members are required to donate blood." As soon as the words fell, they were both stunned, with an expression of disbelief on their faces. "The doctor and my wife both have type A blood, so is there a mistake?" The doctor pushed his gold glasses frame, and I could see that he was obviously suppressing his desire to watch the show. "Family members hope you stay calm. It is impossible for our hospital's equipment to make mistakes. If you don't believe it, you can test it again." I took the opportunity to come over and appear in front of my biological parents. The wound had been bandaged by a special person, but the burn area was large, and the gauze was covered with blood red, which looked horrifying. "Doctor, is Shinqing okay?" I appeared with a face that was extremely similar to Mrs. Shin, and immediately attracted their attention. I looked at their shocked and astonished expressions with satisfaction. It was a week later that Shinqing woke up. By that time, I had already moved into the Shin family's villa and became the daughter of the richest man. It was when the paternity test report came out that my biological parents suspected that all this was a play I directed and acted in order to go home. They asked me more than once if I had deliberately hurt Shinqing. "Mom and Dad, I know all this seems too coincidental, and I can understand your feelings. If you don't trust me, you can check it out. I know that even if I don't say it, they will check it out. After all, Shinqing is their baby who has been raised by them since childhood, and I am naturally incomparable. With the strength of the Shin family, everything will be cleared up within 2 days." The truth was revealed. It was indeed a conspiracy, but it was not me who targeted Shinqing, but my adoptive mother who targeted me. She wanted to use a hot water bag with quality problems to injure me, so as to obtain compensation from the hot water bag factory. Shinqing's injury was just a coincidence. In their eyes, I became a complete victim and gained more sympathy and goodwill. The news spread like wildfire and became a secret history of the wealthy family that major media outlets competed to report. Although my parents deliberately suppressed the news for Shinqing's sake, it is now the internet age. Such a big thing cannot be hidden. The person involved, finally had to get the truth from the media. My adoptive mother used to be the Shin family's live-in nanny. Because she was jealous of Mrs. Shun, she turned her attention to the 2 unborn children and secretly switched me with Shinqing. They gave birth on the same day, and my biological mother was weak after giving birth, which gave my adoptive mother an opportunity. After all, she was the daughter that my mother had raised for 16 years. Although my mother hated "Be careful, Mom. Not only will I love and care for my sister with you, I will also study hard with my sister and bring honor to you." These few words of mine not only show my position, but also by a wave of misery. I feel sorry for my biological mother and gave me an extra secondary card. "Good child, Mom will definitely compensate you in the future." But at this moment, facing Shinqing who was injured in the ward, my parents didn't know how to start. I pretended not to notice my parents' hesitation and rushed to the bedside. "Sister, you finally woke up. I'm sorry for you. Although you are not my parents' biological child, you are still my sister. We will be sisters in the future. I will be doubly good to you. Xin-Qing deliberately hurt my injured arm, and I burst into tears physiologically. Get out of here. Who is your sister? You, a poor person with a cheap smell, dare to claim to be related to me. It's all you who hurt me. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be disfigured. Xin-Qing has been a spoiled young lady since she was a child. At this moment, she was going crazy in the ward without caring about anything. Not paying attention, seeing my father's increasingly cold expression. Sister, what I am going to say next may be unacceptable to you, but we are both victims. In fact, you are not my parents' biological daughter. We were taken away by mistake from the beginning, but don't worry, I won't let my parents send you back. From now on, we will be sisters. Xin-Qing looked crazy. He probably didn't expect that our identities would be discovered so quickly. He knew his identity early on, but he still enjoyed it as a matter of course. This should have belonged to me. Get out of here. I am the only daughter of the Shin family. You, a fake, get as far away as you can. I feel sick when I see you. I covered my face and cried. Sister, I know you have been blaming me for hurting you. I'm sorry. At the door of the ward, more and more people gathered to watch the fun. My father pinched his eyebrows irritably, and then spoke toughly. Xin-Qing, that's enough. Don't you feel ashamed? If you keep making trouble like this, go back to your biological mother's home. Xin-Qing stared at my father in disbelief, as if someone had splashed him. A basin of cold water was poured on him, and his momentum suddenly dropped. He shut up in dismay, and didn't say another word until we got home. He just kept staring at me with resentful eyes, as if he was trying to kill me with his eyes. Why don't you just die, little bitch? I really acted out this play to the fullest. It would have been so lively if my adoptive mother had been there, but it's a pity that she was stopped by someone sent by my parents. It's estimated that she won't be able to see her beloved daughter for a long time. When I got home, I took the initiative to help Xin-Qing carry the luggage in the trunk and followed her upstairs. When she was about to open the bedroom door, I started to talk to her in a friendly way. I'm so sorry, sister. I've never seen such a nice room like yours, and I envy you, so Mom has given her room to me. Your current room is the one at the end of the corridor. Sister, you are so generous, you won't bother with me? Will you? Xin-Qing was furious and pushed me to the ground. People were scared, and no one dared to come forward to help me. They all ran downstairs to find someone. I stood up quickly and there was no one around. At that time, I whispered in Xin-Qing's ear, "You see, your parents don't love you at all. I will definitely kick you out in the future." Xin-Qing's temper would explode at any time. He picked up the vase at hand and smashed it heavily to the ground to vent his dissatisfaction with me. "You bitch! What nonsense are you talking about? Why don't you just die and get out?" I just smiled and didn't resist, letting the broken porcelain pieces splash and pierce my calves and insteps. Xin-Qing, you have lived in a wealthy family for so many years. Don't you know that this will not only not change your situation, but also consume your parents' feelings for you? After hearing the noise, my mother hurried up from downstairs and saw that my calf was cut by the porcelain pieces and bleeding. She screamed, but she didn't come to take care of me first, but pulled Xin-Qing away. After making sure that Xin-Qing was okay, she turned her attention to me again. "Auntie Wang, take the young lady downstairs and deal with the wound. Yao Yao's mother will come to see you later. Your sister is in a bad mood now. I'll be good." I patted my mother's hand and shook my head pitifully and weakly, saying, "Don't worry, Mom. I have always regarded my sister as my relative. I am also very guilty for the injury she suffered, so I will not blame my sister. I know that no matter who it is, they can't accept it easily. With so many series of changes, my sister has been great. How can I blame him?" My saintly speech made my mother believe that I was wronged. She hugged me and said, "Good boy. Mom is very grateful that you are so well behaved. Tomorrow Mom will give you 3% of the shares of the company. Don't worry. Mom will not wrong any of you." Hearing this, I expressed my gratitude from the bottom of my heart. Everyone will only subconsciously sympathize with the weak, and it was true. Xin-Qing was worried that I would say something nonsense in school. Although he still couldn't see anyone, he had to go to school. In order to avoid suspicion, we took different cars to school. Even before entering the school gate, Xin-Qing was still warning me. "Shen Yao, what to say and what not to say. Let me teach you. If you dare to say one more word in school, you're done, and you'd better stay away from me in the future. Point, otherwise I will let you have a taste of disfigurement. Anyway, we are not home now, and I don't even want to pretend. Haha, sister, now I am my parents' legitimate child. Do you have the guts to do anything to me? Be careful that my parents don't want you." I walked past him and went straight to the classroom. Next, I didn't care about Xin-Qing's little tricks at all, and concentrated on studying. Because I missed a week of classes, I told the teacher that I hoped to arrange Lin Zheng, who is the top of the grade, to help me with tutoring after school. I originally thought that Lin Zheng would ask me something, but he didn't say a word to me except about study. Aren't you curious? I asked Lin Zheng. Lin Zheng smiled rarely and then said to me seriously, if you want to defeat your opponent, it's best to do it perfectly. If I tell the truth, how will you deal with it? And do you want to add fuel to the fire? I was about to ask something when Lin Zheng rubbed my hair lovingly. Pretend to your sister. Isn't that why you asked me for tutoring? Turns out that Lin Zheng knew everything a long time ago. He knew Xinqing's feelings for him. He didn't expose it just to enjoy the privilege of going to the washroom and the cafeteria without queuing. Xinqing would sing for him, and he would have more time to study. Maybe we are the same kind of people, so he is willing to help me. This scene happened to be seen by Xinqing. Xinqing was so jealous that he was almost crazy. After Lin Zheng left, he rushed over regardless of anything and slapped me loudly. Chun Yao, how dare you seduce my sweetheart? My body fell onto the seat due to inertia, and the secondary card my mother gave me in the pocket of my school uniform also fell to the ground. Xinqing was one step faster than me, picked up the card, and held it tightly in her hand. I looked at the bank card, leaving a deep mark on her white palm. Why, I asked for a secondary card for so long but my mother didn't give me card. You, an outsider bastard, can get it easily. Just because I am not my biological child, you treat me like this. My monthly pocket money is only 10,000 yuan. The girls around me have more than me. I have confiscated this card. If you dare to tell anyone, I will smash your mouth. I pretended to be a little scared and suppressed anger. Nodded. Xinqing was very pleased, glared at me and then left. Xinqing's figure disappeared at the end of the corridor. Then I called the private detective with satisfaction and asked them to follow Xinqing. I was really curious about how you were going to spend the money. When I took the bus home, Xinqing unexpectedly got home later than me. After dinner, the detective sent me a video, in which Xinqing gave the gangster 30,000 yuan in cash. As long as you destroy that bitch Chen Yao, I will give you another 50,000 yuan after the job is done. Don't worry, we are all minors. The law will not punish us, remember? Don't betray me no matter what, or I will give you an extra 100,000 yuan as hush money. The leader was so greedy for money that he was as happy as a pug. Don't worry, miss. We are sensible and will never disclose your information. The next day, Xinqing asked me to wait in the alley behind the school. His parents said that we should go home together. You go to the alley and wait for me, and I will find you later. I nodded in agreement. This fool is indeed not my parents' biological daughter. After school, I arrived as promised. A gangster took the opportunity to pull me into a yard. They tore my clothes frantically. Before I could go any further, I was arrested by the police. I went to the police station with the gangsters. When the police found me, my clothes were disheveled and my face was covered with tears. I looked like a pitiful victim. The female police officer helped me up distressedly and comforted me, while calling my parents' call surprised me that the gangsters didn't reveal the mastermind behind the scenes. However, I had sent the video to the police a long time ago, and Xinqing and the others couldn't escape. The first thing my parents did when they got home was not to comfort me, but to slap me hard. My mother's face, which she had taken great pride in, was distorted by anger. You obviously knew about Xinqing's matter in advance. So why didn't you tell me and your father, but chose to call the police? Do you know that this would harm Xinqing? Since you came back, the family has been restless all day, and Xinqing has become irritable. If you had known this would happen, you might as well not come back. My father said nothing, and sat next to me smoking silently. His behavior towards my mother was actually equivalent to a disguised acceptance of the victim-blaming theory. How could you come up with this? It's disgusting. I covered my slowly swollen face in disbelief and ran upstairs. My parents discussed it in the living room all night. My mother, it was not until 11 o'clock in the middle of the night that there was another knock on my door. My mother came in with milk and eggs, with a flattering look on her face. Yao, Mom was wrong just now. Mom apologizes to you. Roll your cheeks with eggs quickly. It won't look good if your cheeks are swollen. I didn't say anything and took the eggs silently. Yao, I watched your sister grow up. She is not a bad person by nature. She just cares too much about this family and has made some extreme actions. What Mom meant was that it is better to solve our own family affairs behind closed doors. After all, our family is a well-known family in the local area. Don't let outsiders laugh at us. Okay? Just give your sister a letter of understanding, and Mom will deal with him later. I was about to cry and looked very hurt. Mom, in your heart, is your sister the only daughter? I know I can't compare to my sister, but I am your and Dad's biological daughter. I really can't forgive my sister for doing this. I didn't want to see my sister again, so I refused to show the letter of apology. My mother knelt down in front of me immediately and begged my daughter, As long as you agree, Mom will agree to anything you say, I promise. I hesitated for a long time and finally nodded. Then send my sister back to her biological mother. I didn't want to see her again. My mother was reluctant to part with Shinqing, but she had to agree at this time. After the school heard about this, they refused to let Shinqing continue to go to school. My mother took great pains to keep Shinqing's student status. Later, my mother secretly gave a villa under her name to Shinqing and her adoptive mother to live in. In addition, she hired a tutor for Shinqing to study at home. I was too lazy to care about my mother's little actions. Now, academic studies are the most important thing, and outsiders should stay away from it. After hearing this, Lin Zhang looked at me with a playful look on his face. Hurt the enemy 1,000 and hurt yourself 800. Okay, I didn't even bother to raise my head and continued to write the test paper. But Lin Zhang threw it at me. Get a notebook. All the courses you missed are on it. It was a year later when I saw Shinqing again. Her face was completely healed, even more beautiful than before. There was also a gangster who looked very similar to Lin Zhang by her side, sitting on the back seat of the motorcycle and showing off. Haha, Chen Yao is my wanton youth. Even if you kick me out, so what? There are still many people lining up. You can never love me as much as I do. I silently put away the English vocabulary booklet and gave him a thumbs up. This kind of scumbag doesn't need me to do anything. His life is already in tatters. I hope he won't regret today's decision in the future. After my mother heard about Shinqing's rebellious behavior, she was so disappointed that she wiped her tears and scolded me at home, saying that my adoptive mother was a piece of shit. A good child was raised like this by Chen Yannan. How could my poor Qingqing have such a mother? She actually agreed to Qingqing dating a gangster. It's really what a conscience. I pretended I didn't see anything and went upstairs quietly to write the test paper. Later, through the gap in the curtains, I saw my mother alone. She drove out of the villa in a hurry. I didn't have to think about it. She must have gone to find her precious Qingqing. I just don't know if my mother, the precious daughter she misses so much, will understand her motherly love. It's quite curious to think about it. My mother was eventually admitted to the hospital because she was pushed down the stairs. When my father and I arrived at the hospital, my mother was still in danger and was hanging by a thread in the ICU. It is said that my adoptive mother turned herself in to the police station and confessed everything. In the end, she was sentenced to 10 years in prison for intentional injury. But as far as I know, it was clearly Shinqing, Wan Neiqing's gangster boyfriend, who did it. In the video sent by the private detective, my mother and Shinqing were in the villa, and they had a fierce quarrel. Qingqing's mother knows that you are angry, but Mom is also, I was forced to do this. Mom hopes that you will not degenerate because of this matter, and hang out with this hopeless street thug all day long. You still have to study hard in the future so that you can have a bright future. But Shinqing didn't listen. Haha, who do you think you are? You have already driven me into this shabby little house, and you still dare to call yourself my mother. Hey, do you have any shame? Also, Li Hao and I are truly in love. You have no right to interfere. Li Hao taught me what true love is. It was he who made me discover that youth can be so unrestrained and ostentatious. If it weren't for you, I would have lived such a good life long ago. My foster mother also came up at this time. I said, you are too nosy. You only give us that little money a month. Qingqing, you are not worthy of being her mother. As long as my daughter is happy, that's enough. My mom was so angry that she jumped up and pointed at Li Hao and said, get out of here. This is my house. Don't step foot in it again. Li Hao is not a pushover either. Pushed my mother, you old woman, what do you care about you? It was also because of this that my mother lost her balance and rolled down the stairs. Shinqing quickly calmed down. She was reluctant to let her boyfriend go to jail, so she asked her adoptive mother to let him go to jail instead. Mom, if it weren't for you, would I have been so depressed all these years? I love Li Hao now. I can't extricate myself from love. I can't live without him anyway. You are so old. Going to jail is nothing to you. You just turn yourself in on behalf of Li Hao. We will wait for you to come back outside. After watching the video, I deleted it together with the backup. Since the adoptive mother's love for Shinqing is so great as his former daughter, how can I stop their mother-daughter love? My mother's life was saved, but she was paralyzed from the top of her body. Even speaking is a problem. It was my adoptive mother who went to jail, not the gangster, and then she shed 2 lines of tears. My dad too. I was completely disappointed with Shinqing. In a rage, I took back all the assets given to Shinqing and suspended all the bank cards. I just don't know if Shinqing and her boyfriend will still live so wantonly and ostentatiously after they have no money. How much love does my father have for my mother? He runs back and forth between the hospital and the company all day long. If he continues to work so hard, his health will be completely broken in a few years. In this life, because I studied hard, I was admitted to a 985 university as I wished and became a top student in the Department of Finance. After graduation, I took over the family company from my father without any obstacles. With the help of Lin Zheng, I became the new generation of people in power. Later, I learned that Lin Zheng was the illegitimate son of the Lin family in the imperial capital. His conversation and knowledge helped me a lot later. We became good business partners and were very successful. With my help, Lin Zheng also successfully gained a foothold in the Lin family. The company was under my management. After a successful listing in the United States, the returns increased several times. I entrusted my parents to the caregivers and seldom visited them. During the Chinese New Year last year, I went to the nursing home to see my dad. My dad held my hand with tears in his eyes and said, "Dad was wrong. It was Dad who was biased before and did not care about your feelings. I gave my true heart to Shenqing by mistake. But after all, I am your biological father. I hope you don't care about Dad. I don't want to live in a nursing home anymore. Please take me away." I broke away from my dad with a smile on my face. "Dad, what are you talking about? I am your biological daughter. How could I blame you? But you also know that I am busy with work. Can't you as a parent understand and be considerate of me? Just stay here obediently and I will come to see you next time." After that, I left without looking back. They love Shenqing, the daughter they raised since childhood, more than me. But fortunately, we both desire the love of our parents. I love myself more. Loving myself is the beginning of happiness. At the beginning, a few years later, I saw Shenqing who was serving wine in a KTV. Shenqing was also stunned when he saw me. Then he rushed over regardless of anything and hugged my thighs tightly. "Chen-Yao, oh no, Shen-Yao, please, for the sake of our former sisterhood, please save me, Lin Haolin." Then he forced me to sell myself to him every day in exchange for gambling money. "Wu, I'm so miserable. Take me away." I didn't say anything, looking at Shenqing playfully. Her thick makeup was already smudged by tears, and she looked like an evil ghost. The staff on the side saw that I had an extraordinary demeanor, and none of them dared to step forward to stop her. Seeing that I didn't say anything, Shenqing cried even harder. "Woo, woo, woo, after my father confiscated all my money, Li Hao changed. We were no longer so happy and ostentatious every day. Instead, we had no food to eat. He began to beat me constantly and used the remaining money for gambling. When he had no money, he forced me to sell myself. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, it's not like that in the house." I signaled the waiter to pull Shenqing away, and sneered, "That's how it should be. Shenqing, you chose your own path. I wish you good luck." Shenqing's expression became completely crazy, and she rushed over to strangle me. Obviously, my parents didn't find out, and obviously you were the only one who was disfigured. It was obviously that Lin Hao and I have always been rich and happy. It's all because of you, you bitch. You designed to ruin my life. My assistant immediately called the police, and the police sent Shenqing to a mental hospital for examination. Before leaving, I whispered to Shenqing, "Haha, you're not that stupid. Since you have seen it, I am the evil ghost from hell who came for revenge. What can you do to me? It's a ghost. Help me, he wants to harm me. Save me. I can't stand it. The best is yet to come." I gave the assistant a look, and the assistant understood what I meant. "My dear sister, I'm afraid your days in the mental hospital will not be easy, and I have less disgusting people like you, so I have a promising future.